Deep within the annals of ancient India lies an enigma shrouded in myth and whispered legends. A secret society said to hold knowledge that could reshape our very understanding of history, science, and power. This is the story of Ashoka's 9 unknown men, guardians of forbidden wisdom, whose existence remains one of humanity's most captivating historical mysteries. Our journey begins over 2 millennia ago in the heart of a burgeoning empire under the formidable rule of Emperor Ashoka the Great. His dominion stretched across much of the Indian subcontinent in the 3rd century BCE, a realm forged through conquest and unwavering will. Ashoka was a ruthless conqueror, a military genius whose campaigns were marked by a relentless drive for expansion. Yet, this era of unparalleled power also witnessed a profound transformation, an event that would indelibly alter the emperor's destiny and, perhaps, seed the legend we explore today. That pivotal moment arrived with the Kalinga War, a conflict of devastating proportions that brought immense suffering and death. The sheer scale of the carnage, the cries of the wounded, and the sight of countless lives extinguished had a profound and lasting impact on Ashoka. Witnessing the brutal consequences of his own ambition, the emperor underwent a spiritual metamorphosis. From a fierce warrior king, he renounced violence and embraced a fervent devotion to Buddhism, embarking on a path of peace, dharma, and moral governance. This dramatic shift from ruthless conqueror to enlightened ruler is well documented in history, carved into the very pillars and rocks across his empire. But it is here, in the shadow of this transformation, that the legend of the 9 unknown men truly takes root. The whispers suggest that Ashoka, having experienced the horrors of uncontrolled power and destructive knowledge, became deeply concerned with the potential misuse of dangerous advancements. He sought to prevent humanity from ever again wielding such destructive forces against itself. To safeguard this fragile peace and ensure the stability of his vast empire, legend has it that Ashoka secretly entrusted a select group of 9 brilliant minds with a sacred and extraordinary duty. These shadowy figures were tasked with compiling, preserving, and advancing 9 distinct books of forbidden knowledge. These weren't ordinary texts. They were said to contain scientific advancements far ahead of their time, encompassing diverse fields from the intricacies of psychology and propaganda to the profound mysteries of cosmic travel and gravity manipulation. Each book, a compendium of cutting-edge wisdom, was meticulously hidden from public view, deemed too potent, too dangerous for the uninitiated masses. The 9 unknown men, acting as a covert society, were the keepers of these secrets, their identities concealed, their work conducted in the deepest shadows. Generations of these guardians were said to have meticulously safeguarded this knowledge, passing it down through an unbroken lineage, sworn to protect humanity from its own destructive tendencies while subtly guiding its progress. The implications are staggering. If true, these men held the keys to sciences we are only now beginning to grasp, technologies that could have propelled ancient India, and indeed the world, into an entirely different trajectory of development. But is this a captivating historical truth, a hidden chapter of our past, or merely a romanticized fable born of later imaginations? This question forms the bedrock of intense scholarly inquiry and popular fascination, fueling a debate that spans centuries. Some historians argue that the tale emerged much later, possibly in the 19th or 20th century, a period marked by a resurgence of interest in India's rich ancient heritage. In this view, The legend serves not as a literal account of a secret society, but rather as an allegory, a powerful narrative vehicle to celebrate and symbolize India's ancient intellectual prowess and its profound contributions to philosophy, science, and mathematics. It becomes a story designed to inspire pride and acknowledge a sophisticated past, rather than a factual recounting of hidden guardians. Yet other scholars posit a different perspective, suggesting that while the 9 unknown men might not have existed as a formal, organized society in the way the legend depicts, Ashoka certainly patronized numerous scholars, thinkers, and philosophers during his reign. His transformation to Buddhism encouraged intellectual pursuits and the dissemination of knowledge that aligned with his new principles of peace and enlightenment. It is entirely plausible that the collective wisdom, discoveries, and philosophical insights of these many brilliant minds, nurtured and supported by the emperor, could have formed the foundational basis of such a legend. In this interpretation, the 9 unknown men become a metaphorical representation of a thriving intellectual ecosystem, a collective of sagacious individuals whose combined knowledge was indeed vast and influential, albeit not organized as a single secret cabal. A more intriguing perspective suggests that the legend hints at a deliberate effort by ancient Indian sages to codify and compartmentalize highly advanced knowledge. This wasn't necessarily about hiding physical books of fantastical science, but rather about structuring and limiting access to profound insights, both scientific and philosophical, to prevent them from falling into destructive or unprepared hands. Such traditions are not unique to ancient India. Echoes of similar practices, where esoteric or powerful knowledge was reserved for an initiated few, can be found in other ancient civilizations across the globe. These cultures understood the immense power of knowledge and the responsibility that came with it, perhaps instinctively recognizing humanity's capacity for both creation and destruction. The idea of carefully guarded wisdom, accessible only to those deemed worthy and wise, speaks to a sophisticated understanding of human nature and the inherent risks of intellectual advancement. The true nature of their existence, whether as literal guardians of extraordinary books or as symbolic representations of a deeper societal wisdom, remains the subject of intense debate, fueling both rigorous scholarly inquiry and widespread popular fascination. Could Ashoka's 9 unknown men have truly shaped the course of human progress in ways we are only now beginning to comprehend, subtly guiding the tides of history from the shadows?